Hello, everybody, and welcome to Money Mondays, the webcast that always goes off without a hitch. We are here today to present some opportunities to you. I am Belinda Ray, the Director of Strategic Partnerships at the Greater Portland Council of Governments, here with my colleague.
Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Johnson. I'm the Economic Development Director here at GPCOG.
And we are going to jump right into this. If you have questions, stick them in the Q&A and we'll handle them at the end. So let me get myself shared here and off we go. Today I wanted to talk about BRIC, B-R-I-C. And what that stands for is Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities. It is a federal grant through FEMA, but we work to get the funding through MEMA. So FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, allocates funding to the state's main emergency management agency, and they disperse it to organizations, entities within the state. Oh, there are your acronyms. Municipals are eligible, tribal governments and state agencies are all eligible for this funding. It funds lots of different types of activities. These are the types of activities. It will cover your management costs and your project scoping. They fund promoting partnerships, trying to get people to work together, building code, hazard mitigation, lots of different stuff. Examples of projects are, yes, a hazard mitigation plan for your community, generators, if you need backup generators in case something happens, all kinds of stuff, bridge renovations or installation, microgrids, nanogrids, pump stations, sewer upgrades, water treatment plants, renovations and relocation, and building code adoption and support. They want you to be on the most recent building code. So if you're looking to adopt that, that's something this money can be used for. Lots of possibilities. This is not a complete list. There are other things, but these are some good examples. Recent Maine awardees. Now here's one little drawback to this money. It takes a while to get. You apply in 1 year and you're probably not going to see the money for about 18 months because it takes a while to get through the national competition, get awarded, get back into the state. But these are FY22 awardees. And you can see that the grants, they run the gamut from a $16,000 grant in Cornish to, on this one, we have $221,000 for Plymouth for a watershed project scoping. I took three off of here that were state agency grants. Those were much larger. They were like 700,000, 900,000. But I wanted you to see the towns to see what kinds of things are getting money. Key features here, the funding is flexible. It could be lots of different amounts because the money goes to the state allocates to the towns through this national competition. The state is going to get a maximum of 2 million, and that gets dispersed. Now, I suspect those state agency projects were very worthy, but I also think a lot of people are not applying for this funding. And so, of course, the state is going to get the max. And if they need to, they're going to put in state agency applications and get that funding. And it's going to be really good if you, as your community, get in there. There's a 25% non-federal match required. If you're in an economically disadvantaged rural community, and the definitions below, it's a 10% match. Priorities change each year, and the funding opportunity has not been published yet for this year, but last year's priorities were projects that mitigate risk to public infrastructure, which is usually a priority, projects that include nature-based solutions, and they also had a priority last year on the building code. They really want people to get updated to the newest building codes. In terms of difficulty, there is a lot to do, but you can get technical assistance both from the federal agency and from the state agency. And here's a cool thing. If you keep track of all the time it takes you to apply and build that into the budget when you apply, those pre-award costs can be reimbursed for you if you win. The NOFO for this, the Notice of Funding Opportunity, will come out in the fall, and applications are due to Maine December 1st. They then take the applications, put them into the national competition sometime in January. Then you find out about the funding later, and then you get the funding. a while after that. But that NOFO should be coming out in the fall. So you want to keep an eye out for it. And if you're interested, there's a whole before you apply page on the FEMA site, which has a ton of good information. The main site has a little bit of information. And I would strongly advise anyone who thinks they have a project that might qualify to talk to Heather Dumais. She is our state hazard mitigation officer, and she will make sure you are doing what you need to do, and she'll help you with all the application stuff and really get you in there. So that is what I have today, and I'm going to get out of here so Paul can share his slides.
I don't know, Belinda, I think this is going pretty smooth for the disaster that we were up against.
I think so too.
Just ignore the intro slide, and we will go to. So today, maybe just a quick item. If you have a town newsletter that goes directly to your residents, or something for adult education, or if you have night school, there is FAME, the Finance Authority of Maine, which everybody probably knows. GPCOG is a vehicle to get FAME funds into the hands of small business owners here in Cumberland County. But FAME also does some webinars in education for residents. And so I thought I'd highlight some of those today. Today, I just want to show you some of the free webinars that FAME offers. And they're specifically on a range of financial topics on how to prepare for life outside of high school. And that doesn't just mean college, but it does mean college, but it could also mean transitioning into the workforce. It could also mean after having children, or even, hey, I'm out of college, I have a career, and to help some of my financial literacy. So it's an incredible resource. Like I said, it might be a great item for your newsletter if you do an education piece, or maybe a monthly or bi-weekly newsletter for your town. To give you an example, these are the next several. So I think I put the next 6 webinars out here. The most recent one is student loans and your financial plan, which makes sense. It's a little timely with it beginning the beginning of the new semester. October 4th is Personal Finance Foundations Part 1, Budgeting and Emergency Funds. November 1st, just to highlight, I wish I knew this about 15 years ago, understanding the difference between the ELFON grant and the Next Gen 529. When anybody has a child in Maine, they essentially can get some free seed money and a college education fund. And there is a webinar on how to navigate that. So I'll let you glance at these if they come out and they're of interest of you. But I thought it was important to highlight that FAME does more than just behind the scenes money that perhaps a lot of residents might not know about. They actually do interact directly with residents, and it might be a way for you to create a more robust educational opportunity for your residents. And there's nothing wrong with towns taking this and using this as a vehicle that they're offering it, or they're bringing it to their residents. And the last one I'd highlight just at the bottom, building family financial wellness with Invest in Maine Reads. I think it's definitely the program is worth checking out. And as always, I've created there's just a link there. So when it goes out, that link should be live, and that will give you to not the registration page, but the page right on top of the registration page that will give you all this information. And if you don't like where this link goes, of course, find one nearby and you can use it in your newsletter. So again, those are FAME's offerings for personal finance.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And look at this. Even with a little bit of a late start, we are getting out in time. So I am definitely going to go grab my second cup of coffee, even though my heart is still racing from thinking I lost all my slides. Thank you all so much for being here. If you have any questions, touch base with one of us, both of us, and we will send out the slides and the recording after this, and tell your friends. This is a great way to start your Monday.
Thanks,
Anything to
everybody.
add, Paul? Yeah, thank you. Have a great day. Bye.